The day has finally arrived when we get to see if this 2.8 litre 4-cylinder 70 series on 35s can do a better job than the V8s tuned on 35s. And if you're not up to speed, this is why we are here. I've decided to pin up the tuned V8 against the stock new 70 series. I'm expecting this thing to do this easy. Boosting hard, losing power, dropping down to 90, dropping down to 80. I can't break 80 into 79. I just can't.
That's really interesting. The 76 held 100 the whole way up.
I don't know how to feel about this. I gotta say I'm a little bit disappointed. It is on 35s. It is tuned.
I feel like you're looking for excuses, Ronny, a little bit.
I feel like I am looking for excuses, yeah.
And I wasn't the only one looking for excuses. Mate, the wheels. Tyres make a huge difference. You have huge tyres on a 79 though. Chuck 35s on the 76 and then see how it goes.
And here we are with 35s. Do I think it'll do it? I honestly have my doubts, but there's only one way to find out. I mean, it does tow well on 35s so far. And fuel, that's another thing we're gonna find out. Let's do it. We've filled up, we're on our way to that hill. And so far, it does like to sit in 5th gear. However, as soon as I hit like a decent incline, it kicks back to 4th gear, or it has to. Like you got to feed it to make it kick back. Starting to be a bit doubtful about how it's actually going to handle that big hill, especially with these big tyres on it.
The armrest that's been in high demand is finally back in stock, but wait, it comes in 3 colours now: sandy taupe and interior grey. Get on it folks before they run out again. And you can customise with your own patches.
Strong headwind, but we had a headwind last time as well. No excuses. You notice, Harry, we got a tailwind, so the 79 gets a bit of a push there. Either way, it's either going to do it or it's not. Right, moment of truth. We're on the hill. Can it do it? 90. Wait for it to keep back. It's dropping. We're down there. It's taking a while to drop though. Down at 80. Let's kick back. Doesn't want to go much more than that. 83. I still think that's bloody impressive. We've gone full circle. We're back here again. Except for it's not stock this time. I'm not standing in front of my V8 looking for excuses. It is what it is. It's matched the V8. It's matched the V8 up that hill. If not done a tiny little bit better. But it's not over yet. I've noticed it's using a heck of a lot more fuel compared to last time. Now last time I only used 16 litres per 100. I want to do a 2,000 kilometre run and then we'll see what a trip costs in fuel. That'll be a really interesting question. Yes. I got it. You good?
Not a bad view, one might say.
Just done nearly 2,000 Ks from Perth to Shark Bay and almost back in Perth. I've still got about 200 Ks to go. How did this tow? Pretty darn good, I gotta say. Towing on 35s is really dumb actually. I wanted to put it on 33s, but I know that the internet would have gone, oh, you put it on 33s, so it obviously can't tow on 35s. No, I paid extra for fuel just to prove a point that yes, it can tow on 35s, and just doing a 100K test isn't really a definitive test, but towing it from Perth to Shark Bay along the coast in WA, windy always, yeah, did a fantastic job. But one thing I did notice, the smaller engine definitely runs a little bit hotter than what the V8 does. That's one thing I have noticed. So my coolant temperature was running at about just below 90 a lot of the time. So it was sitting between 87 to 90. I think it got to 95 at the worst. And that was with the headwind going uphill in 36 degrees. Definitely the ambient temperature does affect it. So it'll be interesting to know how it will go with this size tyre towing that size van in 45 degree heat. That would definitely test this vehicle a little bit. I think it will test most vehicles towing in those kind of temperatures with bigger wheels and trying to stick to 100 k's per hour as well. But apart from that, I was able to overtake when I needed to, including overtaking other people who were towing that were, weren't quite going up to speed. Didn't feel like it lacked any power. A lot less sway on the back while I was towing. When I towed on the stock wheels, and because the wheel track is narrower on this as I get released, I've obviously corrected it with an offset rim, which is a bit of a no-no, but let's not go there. Since I've done that with the bigger wheels, it plants its bum way better on the highway, so it doesn't quite swing around like it did before. Only twice did I feel, woo, but that was a gust of wind, and I could see trucks and other people towing oncoming doing the same thing. Didn't wiggle as much as on stock tyres. Auto life, didn't have to gear from fourth to fifth like you would in a V8. Fuel figures, I do believe I got hit hard on the fuel on half the run back because the wind was absolutely crazy. It was nuts, it was terrible. Fuel figures used, the test looks vastly different to what's on my actual 2,000 kilometre. With the 79 previously was 22.8 litres per 100. Compare that to the 76 series, 2.8 litre with the same size tyres, 18.9. However, when you do a 2,000 kilometre proper trip, things are vastly different, and I did load more stuff into the Caravan too. Leaving Perth and heading to Shark Bay, I stopped at the 440 Roadhouse, going there and going back. That's my fill-up point, that's my halfway mark. Getting there, I used 19 litres per 100 kilometres with mild crosswinds. Nice conditions. On the second leg towards Shark Bay, from the 440 Roadhouse, 22.8 litres per 100. Things are now going to get worse on my way home. On the first leg from Shark Bay all the way to the 440 Roadhouse, I burnt 24.3 litres per 100 kilometres per hour with strong headwinds from the easterlies. There were hot winds as well, so it was quite warm, but it was actually 36, 38 degrees on the way back. The wind was hectic. Filling up at the 440 Roadhouse and then getting back to Perth, 25.6 litres per 100 kilometres. That's quite terrible, isn't it? That's a lot of fuel. I barely made it to my fuel stop. Take all that, wrap it all up, what is the average from the whole trip? It's not too bad actually. 22.9 litres per 100 kilometres. That is a real world 2,000 kilometre figure for towing a big ass caravan up to Shark Bay and back, includes some soft sand full driving in between as well. That is the fuel figures. And when you consider 22.9 litres per 100 with 35-inch tyres, that's pretty good. And towing with 35-inch tyres is pretty stupid too. Ideally, 33-inch tyres or smaller. And I would love to know what that fuel economy would look like. One thing I would really like to do with this vehicle is tow with a camper trailer. I reckon this would be awesome for that aspect. Also, given it's a 76 with a shorter wheelbase, can you imagine a short drawbar trailer on the back of this rather than a big freaking caravan? That thought itself excites me.